This video is called Xander Hole is Not Your Ally, and it has been making the rounds. And if you don't know who Xander Hole is, he is a streamer, YouTuber, and I would consider him a friend. I don't know if he considers me a friend. This is always so confusing. I never know if someone is my friend. I always feel weird saying that, but I think Xan is considered a friend. Now, I don't agree with Xander Hole all the time, of course. He doesn't agree with me all the time. We don't agree with our friends like 100% all the time. But Xander Hole's a nice guy. He's a nice kid. Cut him some slack, you know what I mean? This motherfucker, this fucking, son of a bitch, called, I don't even know his name. We're gonna call him Dr. Eggman. One of the worst videos one of the worst hit pieces I've ever seen in my life. And it is the creme de la creme of left-wing infighting. And you know, Mama loves her left-wing infighting, so we're gonna watch a little bit of it.
Well, internet, looks like I'm back again, doing another one of these videos.
First of all, I love this intro. Oh, YouTube, we're back at it again, doing another. I don't wanna do content like this. But I guess I have. Shut the fuck up.
Could be making content about how leftists can start organizing, or I could be doing more stuff about unions, or, you know, how to get involved with direct action, but, of course, the algorithm doesn't like that stuff.
So you have to make a drama video? I could be doing all this super important lefty stuff.
It loves stuff like this. Drama. Nonsense. And it's all because of a group of guys that monopolize the online left-wing politics space.
A group of guys who have, like, nothing in common. We got Destiny, who's like a lib. We got Xander Hole, who's like a lib. We got Vosh, who's like a lib. We got Dylan, who's like a lib. We got Haas, who's like a... I don't know. But, anyway. No, these people are all very different in their politics. I'm joking. Alright, let's go.
Are increasingly ineffectual, perpetuate harmful behaviors, and haven't actually done that much to change that scene since Gamergate.
How much do you want to bet this motherfucking guy was not around during Gamergate? Your girl was around during Gamergate. I was at the forefront of Gamergate. I was there before it happened. My first politic video was was months before Gamergate happened. I was there at the start. I saw everything go down in real time. All right? I'm a founder of the dystopia we live in today, right? So he's wrong. Just straight up, he's wrong here. For any of you who were around, think of left-wing YouTube in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. It was a bunch of video essayists at their computer, droning on, talking down to their audience. It was so fucking boring, so fucking bad. Who'd we have? Christy Winners? And it was so bad, they were so terrible, that they just spawned like hundreds of React channels just because they were so fucking terrible. It was really bad. It was like not good content back then. So right off the bat, he's wrong. The people he listed absolutely did change politics on the internet. I genuinely feel, when I first discovered Vosh, for one example, in 2019, okay? When I first discovered Vosh, I saw his video in the corner of YouTube, and he had, like, the ponytail, and it was something about feminism, and I was like, look at this soy boy. I bet this is cringe. Maybe I'll respond to this video. I bet it's super cringe. And I clicked it, and I was like, oh, he's actually kind of funny. This is rare. A funny leftist on the internet. Interesting. And, like a male feminist who has a sense of humor. This is weird. I've never seen this before, you know? And so there's Destiny, and, well, Destiny's been around, but Destiny became more prominent or whatever. And Xanderhole and all these people, and I feel like they absolutely did shape it. And I was like, wow, left-wing people can be fun? I felt like I was alone, you know what I mean? Me, Chris Raygun, TJ, a lot of people. And I was like, oh, okay, this kind of science is just saying sorry, my eyebrow is showing. We can't have that. I can get used to this. So right off the bat, this guy is full shit. So glad we can clear that up. Steve Shives, right? Yeah, we had fucking Steve Shives. You want to go back to when we had Steve Shives as a representation of the left? Is that what we want to do? Content notes. Mentions of racism, transphobia, general bigotry, discussion of relationship abuse, homelessness, eviction, addiction, drug use, misogyny, fascism, sanism, ableism, biphobia. Ah! Am I gonna be able to get through this video, chat? What is this text color? It's like old, like, internet website. Welcome to my Angel Fire website. Graphic design is my passion.
Xanderhole. Most people know him as the cheeky young debate bro regular guy who likes to smonk.
And
Oh, that's the vomit.
going along with what they're saying.
Oh, Zan. Right off the bat, I fucking hate this humor. Xanderhole, he's the cheeky thing that likes to smonk. I said smoke in a funny way.
Or from his alt-right pipeline video where he congratulates himself on not being a fascist anymore. What a cool and normal thing to be proud of. Well done for doing the bare minimum, bro.
Congratulates him? First of all, he did not congratulate himself. He just talked about how he used to be alt-right, which, by the way, I do not think he was. A lot of these people like to be like, I was alt-right. I watched Ben Shapiro. You weren't fucking alt-right. But anyway, Zan was sort of close. He was like teetering towards that. He caught himself, then he was like, oh, and then he just like, I don't know, what's the word? I'm tired. What's the fucking word? Unlearned. What is the word? He just like educated himself. There's the word, educated. And he just, you know, educated himself, shitlord, and then he just like moved left. It was sort of like a natural thing. A lot of people have done that. I'm sure some people in this audience. He wasn't congratulating himself for not being a fascist. He was just talking about his experience because a lot of people can relate.
Now, I know some of you are not going to want to hear this, but we have to address the facts here. And that is that when you scroll through Xanderhole's YouTube page, there is actually a lot of cool leftist stuff on there. See, he's making videos here about how Trump is bad, he's sticking up for trans people a lot, and that's all good.
More than I've done. Shit.
People around his age or even a bit older are probably going to see themselves in him a little bit and maybe even see him as a bit of a role model for getting into politics, especially if they're already kind of skewed to the left.
Alright, end of video. That's it. That's all you had to say. So Xanderhole is a left-wing streamer who makes a lot of left-wing content. Thank you. Oh wait, there's more! There's an hour more, in fact! What the fuck?
He's got a good stream personality, he interacts with chat a lot, and he's generally entertaining in an above average way. He's gained a big following since making content like this, and yes, I know you are gonna get more views and subscribers based on bigger content creators that you
Yes, Yuda, you can make popcorn. Can I have some? Can you bring it to me in a little bowl? Thank you.
associate with. I know that from my own experience.
I hate my white name so much.
Thank you for not. See, guys, when you subscribe to the website, when you become a member, you become non-white. You're not a. See the white names up there? You become not a white name. You shed yourself of your whiteness, and then you get a color, and therefore you can say the N-word. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Joke. That's a joke. 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 That's a joke. 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 That's a joke. Joke. Please don't say the N-word in my stream. Thank you.
However, you can't deny that Xanderhole, well, he knows how to content create. He is an influencer who has a brand and whatnot. However, you'd be right in thinking that amongst these thumbnails, something just doesn't feel quite right.
Chat! Stop!
The more and more you scroll, the more and more you start to see things like this. Yeah.
Why is this with scary music? Woke Scold Twitter. Is femboy a slur? Why is this scary music? This is a normal thing to cover. It's a valid debate. It was discourse online.
Like, Twitter discourse can be a bit myopic and wrong, but why are you focusing on this? Okay, that one's
Why is there Among Us music? What?
a little bit extra. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, okay, he's just made a video in bad faith about one of my friends. Oh, and there's another.
Leave my friends! You know what, to be fair, I'm doing that. I'm doing that right now. I can't fault him. Leave my friend alone. How about you leave my friend alone, sir?
Another one. Okay, she's just like obsessed with drama and... Okay.
The Raxus got a tier 4 subscription. Yo, what's with this stupid expensive subscription? Lol.
Capitalism, baby. Sorry. Give me money so I can make socialism. I don't know. That's what Vosh says. So, guys, give me money so I can make socialism. Right? Socialism? That's what I want to make? Correct. Hi. You can sit in the office if you want. Okay. Oh, okay.
I'll close this.
Chat. Yuta is making popcorn, so do you want some? Chat wants some popcorn.
We don't have them.
You don't have them? Popcorn shortage.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Popcorn? See, you've adopted- these are your adopted children now. You chose this. Alright. Let's see.
This is fucked up. What is this guy's purpose on this platform? Is he a leftist? Or
Alright, wait, we gotta rewind, because what?
faith about one of my friends. Oh, and there's another one. Okay, she's just like obsessed with drama and... Okay. This is fucked up. What is this guy's purpose on this platform? Is he a leftist?
First of all, a lot of things to unpack here. Number one, that video was about his ex making, like, very serious allegations of him. I think he gets that. Like, very serious allegations. Big drama, big fat drama came from that. And Xanderhole obviously had to respond to that and debunk it, because it was, like, a big thing. Second of all, what is this guy's purpose? Is he a leftist? You don't have to be a leftist to, like, make content on YouTube. What is his purpose in life? He's not a leftist. Get rid of him. What the fuck?
Or is he just a leftist some of the time and a piece of shit whenever it suits him?
Telling language here. Very telling language. Is he a leftist or is he sometimes a piece of shit? As we'll see as this video progresses, those things aren't exclusionary. You can be a leftist and a piece of shit. Look at me! Like, see, that's the problem with a lot of me. A lot of people don't like me. Absurd, right? I'm just so normal. But, a lot of people don't like me. So that's fine. But the reasons that they give... They'll say she's a fascist, and they'll say she's, like, right-wing, and then they'll list, like, oh, she's friends with this person. Oh, she's mean on Twitter. Like, being, like, not liking someone being an asshole doesn't mean that they're right-wing. You could be an asshole and be left-wing. I don't know, like, people do this with Destiny a lot. I think, as far as I know, Destiny is left-wing. He's like a liberal, right? But people will be like, oh, he's right-wing because he's an asshole online. You know what I mean? He gets into all these, like, drama shit and whatever. I don't know, I don't pay attention that much. I just always think that's very telling.
Xanderhole prides himself on debating
Asshole
people who disagree
leftism.
with him. on anything in the marketplace of ideas. And he doesn't limit the people he platforms in order to protect his user base. Oh no, he loves debating fascists, especially about the human rights of the people that he claims to support. But why?
Huh? Why is he saying that in like a sarcastic bad way? He loves debating fascists about human rights. Why? Why is that bad? Oh.
If he's a leftist, surely he knows that platforming people with strict ideologies becomes more of a battle to convert the opposing person's audience, but actually you've achieved nothing because the supporters of your point of view stay the same and the supporters of your opponent stay the same.
That's not true. That's not true at all. There are so many people who, like... Sorry, I burped. That'll be an extra $5, chat. So... Thank you. Popcorn. Here, chat. Have some popcorn while we watch this. My boyfriend just whispered, "This is very weird." Here, chat. Yum, 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 yum. Oh god, I have to eat on stream? I look like a horse. I chew like an animal. I chew like a farm animal. Great.
Sykes88 has donated $5. I hope that Bernie's older dollar lives to be like 112. Like
Yeah.
you said, he's the only politician that I actually like.
Yep. We're not gonna get a lot of Bernies. It's all, 80-pole bullshit from here on out. But anyway, a lot of people have had their minds changed because of debates. Like, you're not gonna always change the mind of the person you're debating, but you can change the mind of audience people. Like, people come to me all the time like, oh, my opinion of this was changed when I saw Vosh debate someone, when I saw Destiny debate someone. Like, that's a very normal thing. I don't know why this guy's against that. Let's move on.
But
The new impressionable viewers that haven't been exposed to either ideology have now been exposed to a violent ideology that will influence them easier and easier
depending on their material conditions and prior exposure to fascist ideology in our culture and media that permeates every single ounce of it.
hey everyone, it's Mule here. What Mule has forgotten is that there are probably a lot of people watching this video who don't understand why the platforming of bad ideas is bad. Debate
Zero
Bros
Fox
have been
Given
taking...
has donated $5. Eggman, Fighter of the right man,
Eggman!
Champion of fun.
Oh, fighter of the right man. Oh, champion of the... Nothing. Oh, you're a master of drama and headaches for everyone. Eggman. Oh, fighter of the right man. Champion of the nothing. I think debates are actually good to have. Like, just, I don't really understand this mindset. A lot of leftists have this. Chat, if you notice, I just really hate left-wing people, sorry. Even though it's like a self-hate thing. I'm one of the good ones, ha ha ha, don't throw me, don't put me against the wall. But, a lot of leftists do this stupid shit where it's like, don't platform this person, and they're bad ideas. Just have a debate. Like, you gotta talk about your ideas. You can't just, like, constantly be, like, preaching to the choir. You know what I mean? You're not a leftist if you don't hate other leftists, basically.
taking up space in the online left for some time now. And a lot of their content focuses on debating fascists or conservatives on whether trans people should exist or whether there is actually a white genocide happening. Their entire
Wow, that's so crazy. Why would you debate these? To me, those are just obvious. Like, but some people can change their mind about these things. Conservatives.
Even though it was proven wrong 100 years ago by Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, who said this: "Why should we bother to reply to Kautsky? He would reply to us, and we would have to reply to his reply. There's no end to that. It will be quite enough for us to announce that Kautsky is a traitor to the working class, and everyone will understand everything." And of
So I found out from a little friend, a little birdie, a little guy, Sucked on Left. You may know him. I found out that quote is fake. That quote isn't even real. It was made up by a conservative, if you can believe it or not. And apparently Lenin replied to Kautsky, according to chat. Like, huh? You just made a fake quote. Owned. You got him. Also, that quote is just very stupid anyway. Like, we could just call him a bitch and be done with it. Yeah, that works. Alright, fake Lenin.
Of course, multiple real instances of people that these nerds have debated who have remained steadfast in their fascist opinions. So there you have it. Now you're briefed on the debate person, the type of leftist who simply thrives on drama and doesn't give one iota of shits as to whether people are actually doing on-the-ground organizing, activism, or doing anything progressive at all.
This is interesting because your girl here was part of the DSA for a little while, and I did some actual on-the-ground stuff. I did mutual aid. I gave, when COVID hit, we bought food to people's houses. We did a lot of shit. I'm not part of the DSA anymore, and they won't leave me the fuck alone. Renew your subscription! And I'm like hiding in the shower, like, if I did mutual aid, I did on-the-ground things, I've been in protest, am I more left-wing than Xander Hall, sir? Can you say that with a straight face? My good sir, my fellow bald person, can you say that with a straight face? I don't think you can. No.
They love leftism as an aesthetic, as it were. Anyway, back to Mule.
Not funny. Not funny, didn't laugh.
Thanks, Mule. So the question remains, does Xanderhol know that platforming fascists goes against everything that leftists stand for? How many fascists has he de-radicalized? Something that's important to point out is that the de-radicalization
What the fuck do leftists even stand for anymore? I would say something, but I'm not gonna, but what?
of fascists is a very real discussion that leftists are going to have at some point, as Nazi views and ideology have the possibility to outlast the potential revolution or global shift towards more radically left-wing politics. What I do know of this kind of action that exists so far is that it's undertaken mainly by charities like Hope Not Hate, who tend to infiltrate telegram groups of fascists like the BNP or the EDL in the UK, who create disorder and sow dissent amongst the rank and file fash and the movements who are losing faith in them due to the fact that they're not really addressing their material conditions and seem to be focused on something that is more of a losing battle. What is certainly not effective is nerds on the internet debating them, especially when those
What if the nerds also can do leftist things outside of debating? Like, what is the harm of also, like, this thing already exists. The debate sphere already exists. It's already going on, and this person was not around during Gamergate. I don't think he was, or else he would know what it was like in the before times. In the before times, left-wing YouTube was god-awful. Why would you want to go back to the before times?
nerds every now and then let their mask slip a little bit and repeat the same fascist talking points they've been arguing against. No, as you
What are the, what do you think the fascist talking points are gonna be, chat? Is Xanderhol's mask gonna slip, and is he gonna be like, black people don't deserve rights, actually? Like, oh.
You can see here, the debate lord Xanderhol tends to actually just focus on drama, which is annoying because
He literally went through Xanderhol's videos and was like, look at all the left-wing content he does. And now he's just cherry-picking. Now he's just cherry-picking examples of when he did drama.
why does he use words like woke scold and cry bully? What do those words even mean?
What do they even mean? Well, I've never heard of those words in my life. What do they mean? You! They mean you!
Another thing to be aware of when looking at Debate Bros is their takes. Sometimes their takes are so bizarre that they make no sense whatsoever. For example, this video where Xanderhall clickbaits you into all hell with the title, My Controversial Take on Platforming Joe Rogan. His hot take is that Joe Rogan is an irresponsible platformer, but shouldn't lose his platform?
Based.
Because he's a good interviewer?
Base and true. We love Joe Rogan on this channel, folks.
Now, for a start, Joe Rogan is not a good interviewer.
Okay. Thank you.
Sucks88 has donated $5. Shu said actually nah, I can't watch the new Beavis and Butthead, because they're sexist pigs.
Yes,
I'm a
I
liberal,
said that.
and that kind of humor isn't cool with me.
That is a direct quote. Thank you.
He's a stoner that sits there and goes,
Hey, you ever seen a chimp pilot a jet on DMT?
and if
Yeah, that's why we like him. What?
he's irresponsible at platforming people, why then should he keep his platform? I think one of the funniest and most telling things about this video in particular is that Xanderhall is sat there in a Shadow the Hedgehog onesie. You know, Shadow the Hedgehog, the ambivalent, cool, and edgy character from the Sonic the Hedgehog series that doesn't really care about good or evil. He's too cool for that shit. Whilst Xanderhall
Is he really finding a problem with Zan in a shadow onesie? Oh my god, it is not that deep, bro. Holy fuck. You know, the character who doesn't care about good or evil, huh? Sort of like Xanderhall. It is not that fucking deep, bro.
is sat there being ambivalent and edgy and not really caring about good or evil because he's too cool for that shit.
Is Joe Rogan evil?
So anyway, why has he said this? What's the point?
Joe Rogan had this one actual scientist or an actual physicist or something on his show. This is a smart guy that's being interviewed here that I wish I could talk to, because I have a million questions I would ask this guy if I could just talk to him directly. But Joe Rogan literally asked every question I would have asked. And by the end of that episode of his podcast, I don't think there would be any questions I'd have left to ask that guy.
Bro, you're a 23-year-old edgelord that got famous too quick. You're not a good interviewer either.
Got him! What?
He goes on to say that Rogan's interview with Daryl A. Davis, the black blues and R&B musician who converted KKK members and de-radicalized them, was really good, and he was immersed in listening to the story, but that's nothing to do with Joe Rogan. You can go and listen to Daryl A. Davis's story from multiple other sources.
But not everybody knows who Daryl A. Davidson is. Joe Rogan has millions and millions of listeners. If Joe Rogan brings on somebody not a lot of people know. Huh? Yeah, you don't gotta listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. You just gotta go to Daryl Davidson to see what he says. What if nobody knows who the fuck Daryl Davidson is? I bet there's people in the chat who don't even know who he is. Yeah, so Daryl Davidson, is that his name? He's a black guy who talks to the KKK and talks to white nationalists and de-radicalizes them. Good English. And it's a good thing, and it's based and cool. We love to see it, but not everybody knows who he is. You know what I mean? Yeah, not everyone. So if Daryl Davidson goes on a podcast like Joe Rogan's and talks about the stuff he does, more people find out who he is. I just don't see why that's bad.
We don't need a brain force chugging, steroid smacking moron to show us this, you know? Also, I am an ex-fan of the Joe Rogan Experience, and in all the episodes that I watched, and I did watch a lot of Joe Rogan, most of the time Joe just kind of sits there and goes, huh, wow, huh, yeah.
Better commentary than whatever the fuck this is.
Joe Rogan's a good interviewer. I'm literally the most best video essayist of.
Why is he stuck on this one point? Zan probably said so much other stuff in this video, and this guy is stuck on this one, positive thing Zan probably said about Joe Rogan. Zan probably, disagreed with Joe Rogan and critiqued him on a whole bunch of shit, but this dude is, fucking autistically focused on one goddamn thing Zan said, that, Joe Rogan's a good interviewer. How long into the thing are we? He keeps repeating it, like, I don't care.
Of all time on the internet. And I know I'm not. So Xander Hall, after blathering on for 2 minutes, not really saying anything of value, decides that if the left banned Joe Rogan from Spotify, that would be political suicide. Now, what does he mean by that? Well, I'll tell you what he means. These debate nerds are always talking about optics. They're always saying that lefties are too much for the average voter.
They are, but okay.
And that's why they focus on myopic issues that like maybe 5 people have spoken about on twitter.com. You know, after they've had baby's first political take and they aren't actually big talking points in the broader left. You see, what they're trying to do is shame lefties into being more palatable to the center-left powers in electoral politics. Not
No, I just want lefties to stop being fucking cringe and annoying.
once have these nerds considered that most lefties have abandoned electoral politics in favor of direct action and organizing. Because, you know,
Organizing.
we're smart. But it always comes back to this optics.
Oh, is he an anti-voter guy? Chat. My boyfriend is a Trump supporter, right? He's a MAGA. He loves people like this. He loves the don't vote. Voting isn't enough. Don't vote. Don't play into the system, guys. Don't vote. Voting's bad. Oh, he loves people like this. He loves the leftists who won't vote for Dems. Just saying. Just putting that out there. If that puts any perspective into this shit.
Like, we should care about what conservatives and fascists think about us. If it's the left's fault that Joe Rogan gets taken off Spotify and Nazis are frothing at the mouth, why should I care? I would simply have a celebratory wank.
First of all, ew. I don't want to... Why do I picture his penis also has a beard and is like the top is bald? Anyway. Fucking anyway. What? Just because we can take Joe Rogan off. I hate this stupid shit. I hate this stupid fucking shit. I thought that too. Thank you. He looks like a penis. Anyway, so I hate this stupid shit. Like, let's just deplatform everyone we don't like. Let's just set that standard. Mr. Big Tech, Mr. Big Tech, can you please get rid of the people that I don't like? Thank you, Mr. Corporation. Fuck off.
But no, the reason that they talk about optics all the time is because they think that you can win fascists over to our side with good optics. You're starting to see how this is all a circle gang? Debate Nazis, have good optics.
Alright. Not to toot my own horn. Not to jerk my own chain. But I get messages, comments, tweets from people all the time, especially during the primaries, from former right-wingers or centrists or whatever who say, shoo, you convinced me to vote for Bernie, you like introduced me to more left-wing ideas, blah blah blah, because you showed me that not all left-wingers are Eggman over here, you know what I mean? Good optics are good, and it's not the only reason you should care. It's just the fact that you just don't want to be fucking, like, annoying and dumb. You just don't want this big movement of, like, annoying dumb people who say stupid shit. Like, it's not even an optics thing for me. Like, shut the fuck up about, like all this Twitter discourse. Like, nobody cares about he/him lesbians. Like, we want a living wage. We want a roof over our head. We want people, you know what I mean? We want people's necessities to be met. I don't care about this other shit. I mean, I do. Yes. Oh, sorry, chat. Sorry. I do care about he/him lesbians, right? They should have rights like everyone else, all right? Let's just throw that out there. You know what I mean, though? Like, these tiny little niche issues, you know what I mean? Nobody actually really cares about that shit. By the way, I have no fucking idea what a he/him lesbian is, but let's go.
Optics, destroy all the lefties who have bad optics. So let's get into that last part. In this video, Xanderhal talks about his editor, Cherrybread TV, who did a tweet about a bunch of online slang used by queer people, specifically trans people. He then goes on to say that the cancellation that they received for this was outrageous and people lost their minds over it, which he then uses to catapult himself into a rant about how all
Miashi got a tier 1 subscription. Too late, already cancelled.
Fuck! The he-him lesbian army is it's over.
LGBTQIA plus people online, specifically those that criticize Vosh and other debate bros, are mentally ill and abuse victims, and for some reason need online internet points to feel good about themselves. It's extremely fucked up, and just more evidence that whenever him and any of his debate bro friends use the term woke scold, what they actually mean is person that is holding me to account. Guess this.
Oh my god, no it's not! Oh, I hate this shit. You just want to be criticized. And it's like over making like the most mundane, stupid fucking joke in the world or some stupid shit like that. This is just being held, you're just being held to account. Whatever the fuck they say, I hate this.
This is my big woke skull moment,
Zanny boy.
So, huge thing to point out here, claiming that all LGBTQIA plus people are victims of abuse is a huge right-wing conservative talking point, and it's actually the basis for conversion therapy. Conversion therapy.
I don't think he meant it like that. He's probably just like an offhand comment. These people were probably abused and they're taking it out on others. It was probably some like random fucking, you know what I mean?
Therapists tend to point out people's abuse.
He never said that. Yeah, that's what. Interesting, this man like never shows clips, and the clips he does show is like Zan in a onesie. Like, can we get a source here? Where's the source emote? We have a source emote. Where's your source? Source? Fuck.
As a reason for them being queer. Not enough attention from daddy? Well, you became gay to get attention from other men. Not enough attention from mum? Well, you became gay to fill the feminine-shaped hole.
I got attention from my mom and dad. And I am extremely mentally ill, and also bisexual. But I repeat myself.
All in your life. Not all queer people are victims of abuse, and not all victims of abuse are queer. It's a huge false cause fallacy. You know, correlation is not causation. There's a lot more extremely telling points.
Again, this is probably such a tiny little thing Zan said offhand on like a 10-minute video, and he's like focusing so hard on it.
In this video, so I'm just gonna list all of them off real quick. Xanderhal says at the start of this video that his editor is a quote-unquote bit of a memer, and then immediately talks about how the meme they posted is how, quote, the trans community online is toxic and gatekeepy.
I'm just gonna sit my cis ass down and not say anything.
Which is, all in all, true for most communities online. It's just interesting how painting this as exclusively a trans problem is his main aim here. It's transphobic. If you're wondering what the problem with that is, it's that it's transphobic. His editor said to him, apparently, I might get...
Joshua Likesby has donated
Thank you.
$6.75. Someone in the chat said diabetes can be fun. Ban them. Also eat broccoli to combat dementia and type 2 diabetes.
True, thank you, Josh.
Cancelled for this, and his response is basically, who cares, Lamau? In their post...
Chad! Chad Sanderall! Who cares, Lamau? Sigma behavior.
Regarding their apparent cancellation, his editor references Vorsh's post that he used as an explanation of using the tactical N-word.
I love this Vosh quote. In this video, I drop an N-bomb. Big one. Hard R. I did it to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress me, that their slurs don't frighten me or disarm me. You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move, which I am entirely unashamed of. But I understand that language might have upset some of you. This is an example of what I would like to call an invocation of a slur's power for good. But that's subjective judgment. I invite you all to discuss this in the comments, critically or otherwise. So you know who had a tactical slur? Huey Long. our boy Huey Long had a tactical slur. If you guys don't know who Huey Long is, he's one of my favorite history people, politician guys. Huey Long was the governor in the 1930s, and so you can imagine how racist it was, right? Everyone was segregated and shit. It was just a bad time. And Huey Long saw that there wasn't a lot of black people working at the hospitals in Louisiana. And is this how the story goes? Yeah, there wasn't a lot of black people. He wanted black people to have jobs. Sorry, super brain moment. And so Huey Long bought the media along with him. Some of you know this story. Huey Long bought the media along with him. And Huey Long was like, look at all these nice white girls taking care of all these sick N-words. He said it hard R. This is an outrage. This shouldn't be happening. And all the racists in power were like, oh, that's so true. That's true. Good. That's true, sir. And they started hiring black people. Real story. So, interesting, tactical slur from Huey Long there. But anyway, I digress. I could talk about Huey Long for hours.
And for those of you who are blessed enough to not know what this is a situation where Vorsh, in a debate with a fascist, just said the N-word with the hard R, literally just as a tactic to get shock and loads of views and controversy. Yep, and this is something that Xanderhal classifies as a good meme. He also references Vorsh's rant about queer people online, which was extremely queerphobic, again, because of what I mentioned previously about attaching toxic online behaviors to one marginalized demographic. It's super annoying because, yes, some people are toxic online, but just log off. You don't have
Just log off for— what the fuck? Shut up.
to see those people.
I can say this about you right now. You don't have to watch Xanderhal. You could just log the fuck off. Why are you talking about it? You know what else is happening right now? There are poor people. There are people without houses. Why aren't you talking about that? Why are you talking about Xanderhal? Just log off.
This isn't a huge thing to worry about for most people, but you see, the people that Xanderhal's actually talking about here are just people that disagree with him, and he can't have that. Oh no, God forbid. He starts to say that
that's literally you right now. That's you. Can't have people that disagree with you even slightly, or else they're a leftist.
the way to solve this problem is to make sure that there are less transphobic and queerphobic parents out there, kind of trying to reinforce the fact that his de-radicalization is the solution to a lot of problems. Not that, you know, he should reflect on some of the more problematic aspects of his behavior that these so-called woke scolds point out. Now,
when woke scolds point out my problematic behavior, I double down and I do it more. Lesson for chat.
I'd be lying if I said that people didn't go too far online. Absolutely they do. I've seen hundreds and thousands of baby's first political
Okay, then why is he... Yeah, so Zan is kind of right.
opinion, and people who really go ham and puritanical on issues that aren't really that much of an issue once you put them under a close analysis. But
So you agree? What?
if I thought that people doing that was a problem, I'd be doing a video about them and not debate bros. It's good that people are exploring the boundaries of our language and how the roots of certain words can be harming people and how certain attitudes and behaviors need to be changed. It shows that our culture is evolving into one that's based on love and compassion rather than hateful exclusion. And it can also show that we have a long way to go when it comes to people resorting to puritanical, Protestant, colonialist rhetoric when trying to change.
Bro, imagine going to like an old school, like, blue collar union, like the post-colonial, like what are you talking about?
His first video that got a ton of views, how I almost became alt-right. He starts off by saying he never really went into politics and had a fairly progressive mom who taught him why it's wrong to be racist, misogynist, and bigoted in general, and that he was super disappointed in the USA and Americans in general when Trump got elected because even he could see that Trump was a bad guy. He then talks about his radicalization through YouTube content. It's so weird listening to this because it's almost like he's talking about himself when he talks about Chris Raygun, who he describes introduced him to alt-right content. He says that
First you're watching Chris Raygun, then you're 1488ing. Many such cases.
Chris described himself as center-left, and did a lot of content about how feminism was obsolete in the USA in 2016. Obviously, Xander Hall
That's
doesn't
fucked up. Who would do that?
do content like that, but he does do content that
Okay.
attacks people that are too left-wing for him or annoy him personally. A lot of similarities, you know? The video is very short, so I'd encourage you to watch it yourself, but the long and short of it is that he went further down the pipeline until Charlottesville and the murder of Heather Heyer, and then he saw that that shit was actually really bad and wrong, so he started to lose faith in
Good.
it. He then talks about how destiny pulled him out of the alt-right pipeline. For those of
Okay.
you that are somehow blissfully unaware of density, here is a quick recap. He started making content on Twitch when it was still
I don't care.
Justin.tv. He did like stop.
Alright.
Do your job until you die in poverty like the wage slave that you are.
Whoa! Clipped. That's pretty extreme, guy.
Yes, you can have your rights as long as you shut the fuck up about your queerness.
So true! Wow, first time I agree with him.
Escaped. He immediately starts by saying,
I also wasn't even a leftist when I made those videos. I was still identifying as what I now know to be a neoliberal.
and then claims to have become more progressive, but only really says that he's a leftist and doesn't really go on much from there. He does say that apparently he was planning to read The Conquest of Bread live on stream, but I can't find that on his channel anywhere. So it's likely that he read a bit of it, thought it was going to be too boring, and sacked the idea off. Which is actually fair enough, because I think that reading theory on a live stream is extremely boring content, and I
noticed this when Vosh went over this video. The man keeps, like, criticizing Xanderhole, and then, like, right after he criticizes Xanderhole goes, but that's understandable, and I agree with Xanderhole. What is your point?
The major difference between this and other forms of de-radicalization is that it simply made him not a Nazi. It didn't make him a communist, an anarchist, or even a socialist. The more and more
Xanderhole simply became not a Nazi. He didn't become a communist. So the fuck what? A liberal is better than a full-ass Nazi. Also, first of all, Xanderhole was never a Nazi. Let's get that out of the way. But a Nazi is better than a... Like, I mean, fuck, Cliff. A Nazi is better than a liberal, haha. Just kidding. A liberal is better than a Nazi. This man is just, like, mad Xanderhole isn't a commie. Like, who cares? This man is just mad Xanderhole has a YouTube channel where he's not a commie. Sir, you have a YouTube channel, and I'm guessing you're a commie? Why don't you make the content that you want Xanderhole to make, Brent?
Edosex Good
Thank
443
you.
has donated $5. Wait, is he saying that somebody challenged this dude's worldviews and convinced him to no longer be what he calls a Nazi after the opening premise of his intro was that this is impossible?
Yes. Yes, that is exactly what happened, Chatter.
most important things to happen over the last year for a lot of leftists is the wave of unionization that's happened across the US and the world. If Xanderhole was covering a lot of this, that'd mean a lot of people learning about a lot of good stuff. He's got one video that's 18 minutes of him covering the Staten Island warehouse unionization.
I was there, by the way. I went to that, and I met AOC. Okay, he doesn't cover this, but anyway, except for the times he does.
But it's got woefully low views. Hell, I know the feels on that one. My union video and activism content performs terribly. But let's talk
That's not Zan's fault. People... you debunked yourself, sir. He does make the content.
about his Joe Biden support. It's so interesting that in this video, quote, "Why I'm not Bernie or bust and you shouldn't be either," Xanderhole talks about how he loves Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden is a creepy old man who has rape allegations against him.
True.
But more recently, he just unironically tweets and retweets Joe Biden's Twitter or pro-Democrat stuff. Xan in this video also talks about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how if she dies while Trump is in office, then women's rights, trans rights, and other civil rights are all on the chopping block. Funny then how all that still kind of happened, but he still supports Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Alright, this guy's just anti-electoralism. So, okay, some people are that, so a lot of leftists are that way. Like I said, right-wingers love these kind of motherfuckers.
What's really interesting about Xanderhole and his ilk is that they are obsessed with electoral politics and seem to see it as the be-all and end-all despite identifying themselves as leftists and in some cases anarchists.
Leftist is when you don't vote. Okay, I don't care. If you're not blowing up the White House, just don't even bother.
I'm going to be talking about one of my best friends, Sophie from Mars. She is one of my favorite people. She's one of my co-hosts on Red Planet. She makes me laugh. She has helped me build my channel to what it is today.
hope she sees this.
So in short, I'm biased. However, I'm well aware that bad faith actors won't care either way, so of course I'm gonna be biased as fuck in defending my friends. It's rad and cool and good actually to be biased and defend your friends. Also, I think the main thing to point out, in case you didn't figure it out already, is that I'm extremely biased against debate bros anyway. So if your main criticism of this video is that I'm biased, then, well, duh. It's actually cool to be biased against things that are bad. Also, it's one letter away from
Beast.
Xander Hall made a video.
Alright, word based is over. It's been a good run. So this streamer, Bad Bunny, he's talking about his friend. This girl is funny. So this girl on Twitter, like, she like quote tweeted me one time, and she was like, wow, shoe on head cheering for Kyle Rittenhouse at TPUSA. Because it was a clip of me like, woo, like jokingly. And I quote tweeted her back, and I was like, no, you idiot. I was not cheering for Kyle Rittenhouse. That's disgusting. I was cheering for Tucker Carlson. And she blocked me. Anyway, that's lore, I guess. She said like a shit ton of slurs. Like, I mean, like hard R. Like, she was like going at it, right? And this was like in 2020. It wasn't that long ago. And like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm not gonna pretend to give a shit about that. But it's just interesting that he's like, he's like, people give her shit for this. And then meanwhile, like, chat. People give her shit for this. And it's harassment. And then meanwhile, he's like mad at Vosh for the gamer moment or whatever. And he's mad at, he's like, oh, thanks for doing the bare minimum. And like, oh, Bad Bunny's not all right anymore. And that's fine. But Xander Hall, he did the bare minimum. He's still a Nazi. It's in the past, bro. She unlearned it, bro. Come on, bro. Just believe me, bro.
He then plays an old clip in which Kira says she would not have sex with or date a bisexual guy, which is something I, as a bisexual man, am very familiar with as an opinion.
If a guy's like having sex with other guys, and then he's like, oh, maybe I'll try having sex with you. I'm like,
Now, of course, the way that Kira says it here is problematic for many reasons, but again, we're missing the point that this is something she said in the past.
Show the whole clip. Show the whole clip, sir. There's more to that clip. So for those of you who don't know, Bad Bunny goes on to say she won't, and she goes, I wouldn't date a bisexual person. I wouldn't date a bisexual man. Especially if he's a black bisexual man. That's disgusting. Like, it's like shit like that. Like, sure, it's in the past. I don't hold Bad Bunny against that. Like, but oh, why didn't you show that? What's wrong with missing a little more of that clip?
And wouldn't dream of saying this nowadays because she understands the harm it would cause. And as a bi guy, I just want to say for anyone listening here, if this is something
We don't claim him. Not one of us.
that you think, fine. I don't want to fuck or date someone who has an opinion like this anyway, and I'm not going to lose sleep about people having opinions like this when I know that there are plenty of people who want to fuck me or date me. But
Wait, so Bad Bunny doing biphobia, which I don't give a shit about, by the way, but I'm just his logic. Bad Bunny doing biphobia is fine because, like, you know, some people just have that opinion. But Xander Hall being like, Joe Rogan's a pretty good interviewer. That's it. That's it. What?
But if you change your mind about that and realize why you said those things were bad, then of course I'm ready and willing to forgive you. This is a very popular opinion that people have about M-spec men. It's a common thing, and people are going to have this opinion because they've been conditioned to by the hierarchies of homophobia and the nuclear family that are imposed on us. It's not right, and it needs to change, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done to do that, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of evidence you could use against Kira to point out that she's a hateful person, this is a reach. I also want to point out that someone in Xander Hall's chat here uses the command clipchimp, and Zan's chatbot responds with an emote and a cheeky little photographer Zan with the word clippers. Now, in Twitch lingo, these are phrases that imply someone needs to clip this content out of context and post it to r/livestreamfails on Reddit, thus
That's not what that means. Okay, whatever.
instigating harassment towards that person either on
Clippers.
Twitter or on their Twitch channel themselves. And you better believe this is something that Kira got harassed for. albeit it was a drop in the ocean of the regular harassment that she receives, but that is no excuse. If you value logic and reason, and that's a thing that debate bros love to talk about, then why wouldn't you take someone's good points along with the bad?
What the fuck? You! This is about you! You know what? I can make a video of this guy responding to himself. Eggman responds to Eggman. From the same video.
Such as what I'm trying to do in this video. But check this out.
Now, a lot of people over the years who have had criticism of Bad Bunny have said more or less the exact same thing. And I'll admit that I made a counter argument to this, along with people who would defend Bad Bunny, that people who have this opinion are probably just being biased by the fact that she's a woman, and that when a woman engages in this type of humor, it comes off as being bitchy or rude or as narcissistic or whatever, but when men do it, it comes off as suave or like, oh, he's kind of a douchebag, but he's funny about it, so it's okay because he's a guy.
He's literally correct here, so why does he go back on it? I'll tell you why he goes back on it and calls her mean, because that is what his entire channel is all about.
You did this shit.
Drama, clout, revenge, and grift content. And I can say with 10,000% certainty that Kira is not this evil, mean monster that Zan is making her out to be. I've been in hours and hours of Discord calls with her, personal calls, meetings, DMs, and she is one of the sweetest, most lovely people that you could ever meet. This is a character assassination video, and it is inexcusable. Exactly the same as the one he made about Sophie. It's also absolutely ridiculous that he rambles on about Kira just being close to people for clout as well, because he is absolutely close to Vorsh and Destiny for clout too. Like, come on, man. This is all projection, and we can see it a mile off. I also want to make a big point here that Kira's harassment has been so intense that she has lost a lot of her viewers on Twitch and YouTube. Despite the constant barrage of harassment that she gets doing her job on a daily, no, hourly basis, she has been steadfast in her left-wing opinions. And she is always doing her best to unlearn.
The only not left-wing opinions this man has shown from Xanderhole is Joe Rogan's a pretty good interviewer. Even though the whole video was criticism of Joe Rogan. Wearing a shadow onesie. Talking about woke scolds on Twitter a bit. Not a leftist. Get out of the club.
The harmful behaviors that she had in the past. And she does all this despite the drop in clout that she is supposedly farming.
Thank you.
8D5D2 Derek has donated $5. Do you have a simp sound effect button? If so, get it warmed up because there will be some great opportunities in this video.
Here it is. Let's continue. We're almost done. We're almost done, chat.
From having pretend opinions on the internet. I mean, come on, people. You can clearly see that this is absurd and has no basis in reality. It is simply the systematic destruction of a woman on the internet simply because she chose to be outspoken and make political content.
I hope this man responds. I hope to God this man sees this. I hope he sees this, Queen. Because if he says anything bad about me, I'm gonna be like, this is the system. What do you say? Systemic abuse of a woman who dares to have political opinions. How dare you, sir?
Seriously, if you're watching this and you have any empathy or sympathy for Kira's position at all, please go and show her some love. You won't regret it. She is more than worthy of your time. So there's a little rule of three that I'm trying to bring into my content here, and I'm going to try and stick to that going forward. So I'm going to finish this video with a third and final, and perhaps one of the worst character assassinations that Xanderhole has done on his channel. And that is of his ex.
No, we're not watching this. I refuse to take part in someone's personal fucking love life drama. I don't know why the fuck this man thinks it's appropriate at all to stick his note. Like, I get, like, it's all public. She made it public, whatever. It's none of your fucking business. Sit your white ass down. Sit your white ass down and listen. I don't understand. Like, we're not watching the Xander whole relationship drama, okay? First of all, I don't give a shit. Second of all, I don't have the context for everything, so I can't even sit here and debunk whatever he says. Xanderhole does. But anyway, yeah, that was just defending my friend. Don't you dare talk about my friends. Teleports behind you. Okay, so that was that. I guess that's the end of this. This will be a clip, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Bye. Say bye, chat. Everybody say bye. Bye, everyone.